For the last 3 years, I've been able to make hundreds of dollars a day selling Bitcoin to people. I'm going to show you how you can do the same thing and work when you want, where you want, and there is no way for people to bother you when your trades aren't on. I'm going to give you step-by-step instructions how to quickly make your own account and set up individual offers. I've made a lot of mistakes over the last few years because I've taught myself everything. Because blockchain technology and economies are so new, you can't learn in school what I do. And most people know how valuable this information is. They won't give it away for free. I'm going to share my profits, my experiences, and my knowledge with you, so you can learn the same thing without making the same mistakes. This is the second episode in a mini-series where I go over individual payment methods and teach you how to perform them specifically. If you already have an account, feel free to skip ahead a few minutes. If not, pay attention. Today we're going to learn how to use prepaid Visa, Mastercard, American Express cards, just like this, that come from the stores and don't have a name on them. And basically the three different things you can do to profit from them and how much you can profit from them. What you see on the screen right here is a trade example that I did about a week ago. And as you can see, I made $115 in 22 minutes. Now this trade actually took a lot longer than normal because these cards take 30 minutes to activate after purchase. So when this trader came to me, his card wasn't ready. Usually this will only take 5 to 10 minutes, and with a $500 card, you'll be making $115 every 10 minutes, we'll say. To get started, you're going to want to hit the top link in the video description and create an account and just follow along. If you already have an account and you're a verified vendor, feel free to skip ahead a few minutes. But if you already have an account and you're not a verified vendor, I offer free coaching via Instagram messaging, email, Facebook messaging to anyone who uses my affiliate link when you need help setting up offers or just general trade questions or asking about things that aren't covered in my video. So I highly suggest, if you're not my affiliate and you want the free education, to use the link in the description. Once you hit that link, on the top right of the screen, hit the Create Account button. Sign up, verify your email, your phone, and your ID when you get a chance. And the next thing you're going to want to start working towards is to become a verified vendor. If you don't become a verified vendor, you will need a 0.1 BTC security deposit, essentially, which is available to be returned to you only after you've gone 7 days since your last trade. In addition to that, you'll also need 0.05 BTC in your wallet at all times, and only the amount above that is available for you to sell. If you become a verified vendor, none of this applies. After I made the first episode in this mini-series, they stopped taking vendor applications momentarily. I'm not sure when they'll resume, but I'm sure that they will. To get vendor verified or become a verified seller, as the badge indicates on profiles like mine, you must be from the USA, Canada, Australia, Turkey, and basically anywhere in Europe. You have to verify your ID, proof of address. Once this is complete, you record a video of yourself making a specific instructed statement. You basically read off a paper, and you show your passport, ID, and as I said, the vendor verifications are on hold, and today is June 23rd. Now, whether you are a verified vendor or not, you can still create an offer. You can also make sales via other people's buy offers. However, I don't recommend this because they're often high-risk scams. So if you're not a vendor and you have enough for the security deposits, anyone can make an offer, but if you have enough for the deposits, it will be visible to the public. You want to go to your vendor dashboard or your normal dashboard and hit this Create an Offer button. And for prepaid cards like this, there are a lot of different kinds. So you're going to want to make a lot of different offers, basically. You have one vanilla, you have prepaid Visa, you have prepaid Mastercard, you have prepaid American Express, you have Walmart Visa cards, you have Target Visa cards, you have any prepaid Visa, Mastercard, Amex card. There is at least 8 within the payment method bank provided to you. So once you start typing any of those terms I just said, like Target Visa card or Walmart Visa card, it will give you a list of options below. So I started to type in the word one, and you can see one vanilla Visa / Mastercard came up, which is exactly what this thing is that I went and bought from the store just to show you. Step 2 when creating an offer is this is the most important part. This is where you set your markup, which is your profit. So if you have $100 worth of Bitcoin and you put 35%, it's going to take someone $135 in whatever payment method you're talking about to buy it from you, minus the 2% escrow fee the website takes. So for prepaid cards, I recommend a profit between 25 and 35%. Now this totally depends on who else is on, your competition. You might see some competition taking a minimum of $500 cards at 25% profit, but if someone wants to buy a $100 card, someone's selling it at a 35% profit. So you just gotta, this can be changed very quickly from your dashboard. $500 cards can present some issues because they're activated differently. So I recommend only dealing with like $100 to $250 cards at first until you get a little more experienced. And this is where you set your minimum trade value and your maximum trade value. So with this option, people can only come to me if they have a $100 up to a $250 card. This, includes anything in between. And at the bottom, you can see I set the minimum trade time is 30 minutes. That's the shortest any trade can be. There's no excuse for someone to take longer than that, so always leave it at 30. On the next page, you get to set tags that will be under your offer that people can see. For these cards, you only want to take cards that have been paid with in cash, and you want the receipt to be provided to you along with that. So you can see here I typed receipt required and cash only. The offer label is something you can customize yourself, like instant release, or just leave it blank. For my prepaid offers, these are the instructions and the terms that I leave. I just say step 1, send a picture of the receipt first so I can see that you have bought a card with cash, because if it's not bought with cash, there's a very small chance that there could be a chargeback, but it's very rare that ever happens. So once I see a receipt, that's very new. If you get a receipt that's more than a week old, I wouldn't even bother with it. Just tell them you don't want it. Step 2 is send pictures of the front and the back of the card, because the front obviously has the card numbers, and on the back of every card, every brand is different. There's going to be a website to go to activate the card, or to assign a zip code to it at least, which is pretty much required for everything I'm going to teach you how to do with it. For these one vanilla cards, the website says vanillagift.com. So I go to Vanilla Gift, I type in the card number, the expiration date, it logs me into this card's account, and then I can assign any zip code to it I want. I usually pick my own because I type in my own name when I'm purchasing things. These two boxes are essentially the same thing. It's just terms are what a potential buyer sees before they open the trade, and then exact trade instructions are what the buyer sees when the trade is open. If you scroll down on that same page, you're going to get some more advanced options, like require that the trader has their email verified, require that they have their
phone number verified, require that they have verified their ID as a buyer. And it says in order to do that, I have to have my ID verified. I took this screenshot from a brand new guest account that's not my own, so I could get your point of view as a non-vendor dashboard. For low-risk trades like these, any gift card trade, people don't need anything verified, okay? They're using gift cards because they're trying to be anonymous, so let them be anonymous. It is not going to make any difference to you. And the more selective you are, the less buyers you're going to get. So just welcome, with a low-risk trade like this, just welcome everyone. The next thing is their minimum trades. I usually leave it at 0, but you can experience people locking your coins, and it's basically going to be your competition. They can make a brand new account and then go to every other seller's offers and open up trades, lock their coins so that their main account is now like the only person left with coins available. So if that's happening to you, you can raise your minimum trades. It's pretty rare anymore, just because there's so many people buying Bitcoin. You're going to get sales. For prepaid cards, however, I would only mess with Americans. For most of my other gift card trades, I actually sell to strictly Africans. It's a long story. You can watch episode 1 about that. But if you're using US dollar prepaid cards, any situation where someone from a different country has a card is just probably not going to be good. So just type USA. You can use Canadians too, depending on how you're charging the card. I used to do that. I used to have a virtual terminal where I would run prepaid cards all day long, and it would take Canadian cards like just as easy. So when you're done creating your offer, step 4 would be to turn it on, and you just wait for a sale to come to you. You get notifications on the top right of your screen when someone looks at your offer, when someone looks at your profile, and when someone opens a trade, I get text messages. An alarm will go off. If you are a very new trader, I recommend turning off all your trades when you have one open, because if you have 4 people waiting on you with gift cards, you can get overwhelmed and someone could do a double sale and you could get screwed. So just do one at a time until you get a little more experienced. Okay, using a prepaid card. One, whether you have an account or not, should be tuned in. On the back of every prepaid card, like I said a minute ago, is a website. For instance, this one vanilla card, the website is vanillagift.com. As soon as I get a receipt and I get the front and the back of this card sent to me in a picture, I go to the website on the back of the card, and to log in, you type in these numbers, just the card numbers and the expiration date. And when you are, every brand is different slightly, but every brand gives you the option to assign a zip code to the card, which is necessary for almost everything you're going to be doing. If you're going to, shop online, you got to put in a zip code. As soon as you log in, it's going to show you the balance. You want to make sure, obviously, that the balance on the card is equal to the amount that the trade is for, and you also want to look at, there's going to be a credit on the statement of the card. It usually says income. That is when the card was purchased. You want to compare that time. Keep in mind time zones are different, but compare the time of the initial credit on the card to when the card was purchased on the receipt, to make sure that that receipt matches the card. Sometimes there's numbers on the receipt, but those numbers usually match the packaging and not the actual card number. So the best way to match the receipt with the card is the time that the card was activated. I'm going to give you a visual. I'm going to show you how to go from a trade to logging into the card. So here's the trade you saw earlier. sent me a receipt. I can see that it's a $500 card paid in cash, and then they sent me the back of the card and the front of the card. So when I'm trading, to be as fast as possible, what I do is I look at the card number and I start typing it in the URL bar. And then I copy it. And I just memorize the expiration date, 0724, and I memorize the CVC, 098. This website for this card is Vanilla Mastercard. So I go to the Vanilla Mastercard and it says which card you have. This one. Now this is where you will log into the card. Check my balance, I guess, right here. Since I copied the card number, it's real easy just to paste it, and I memorize the expiration date and the CVC. I can do it as fast as possible, because when you're trading, sometimes shit gets intense, I'm not going to lie. And you can see that, okay, this is the first thing I want to look at. The credit that I mentioned, the income chart credit, was at 247, and this was purchased at 10:54 in a time zone 2 states away, or 2 time zones away. Okay, so when I logged in, you can see it says 2:45 right here when he was sending me the card. This card was not activated until I actually logged in, which happened to be 2:47. I know that because of the trade times here. He sent me the card, the last piece of information I needed at 2:45. 2 minutes later, I had logged in. That's why this trade took so long. Usually they're like 5 minutes, and you can make $100 every 5-10 minutes. But I had to wait for this card to be activated, and I just started using it to spend online. Bought something I needed, then I invoiced myself from PayPal, and it had like a hold on it because I've been banned from PayPal like 10 times, so I have a new PayPal account. I just decided not to wait, and I just started, paying bills with it, and got essentially 25% off all my bills that I paid for it. Now there's a lot better things you can do, and I'm about to show you that. Okay, here is all the important information, especially for experienced users. There's essentially 3 things that you can do with a prepaid card. You can buy or pay for something, shop online, or pay your bill, and enjoy a 25% discount on all your bills. I mean, there was a point in time last year when I really wasn't selling any Bitcoin because I thought I had exhausted all known avenues. But at the beginning of every month, I would still bank draft $500 worth of Bitcoin and just, pay bills with it because I have way more than that in bills every month and save myself, $150. So that's the simple, common sense thing you can do, but that's not going to provide you a sustainable business. Option 2 is you can charge the card with a credit card processor. There's also this app called P2C, Prepaid to Cash, that is literally made to put the funds off cards just like this into your bank account. If you have a Shopify store or you set up a Shopify store, any kind of credit card processor, it's possible to just run these. What you really want to look for is a virtual terminal, and I'll get to that specifically. Option 3, which is the best option, is to pay your credit card or a loan. If you have a credit card that lets you pay it with a debit card or some kind of a loan that lets you make payments with a debit card, use that credit card. Max it out buying Bitcoin. Earn points, miles, build your credit every month. Pay it with these prepaid cards, and you're still going to have Bitcoin left over. And there's a ton of ways. I mean, Bitcoin is money. There's a ton of ways you can turn Bitcoin into money. Same thing with a loan. I mean, you'll build your credit. There's also what I do, which is use my digital BINII smart card and just load it with the funds for no processing fee and just withdraw in cash. So to go over these specifically, option 1, if you're doing a markup of 35%, you're going to give $74 of Bitcoin for a $100 prepaid card. That's essentially 26% discount on all your bills. Everyone has, bills every month that you pay with a debit card, electricity, cable, Xbox, Game Pass, fucking whatever. You now have the ability to get 25% off all your bills. It's so easy. There's no reason why everyone shouldn't do this if you have an account. Now, this will save you money, but like I said, you won't be able to run a business just off that. Okay, option 2 is kind of hard to explain all the details, so you're going to have to do some of your own research how to implement some of the specifics. But you can use a credit card processor. Preferably what you want is one with a virtual terminal, which I can actually just show you. So a virtual terminal is when you can just like type in how much the charge is and just like simply key, look at the card and key in the number. It's not like someone has to be checking out on a card. The easiest credit card processors to get are Stripe. Authorize.net is a gateway that will set you up with a credit card processor. You can get a Shopify store. You can set up a Shopify store, get a credit card processor hooked up to it, and start running credit cards and prepaid cards through it. I don't recommend letting people use credit cards because the fraud rate is so much higher, especially when dealing with Bitcoin. And then there's PayPal too. PayPal, in order to use a virtual terminal, you have to pay for PayPal Pro, get approved for it, or have PayPal here. But you can set up Buy It Now buttons with HTML on a website or a donation button. However, if you're not a 502.3 Charlie non-profit company and you're getting a lot of donations, PayPal will probably close your account. Also, I don't recommend invoicing for prepaid cards because with PayPal at least, or anyone really, just you want a virtual terminal. Now, there is an app called Prepaid to Cash that is specifically made for cashing out these cards. The only thing is the fees are high. Most credit card processing fees are like 2.9%. Prepaid to Cash is 7% for next day funding and 5% for within 5 days. So yeah, that's what a virtual terminal looks like. This is how easy it is. If you have a Stripe account, so this was a Stripe account for some like Shopify type site I had. And even though it was set up as a checkout, I can simply go to payments and then go to new right here, and then bam, right there is this is what a virtual terminal is. Say someone has a $500 card, I just type in the card number, the expiration date. I can even type what I want it to show up as on their bank statement. You don't want to type Bitcoin. Stripe will close you. More options. It depends what your fraud stuff is set up as. Stripe, if you even need to type this, you could just type the zip code you assign it to and probably be okay. And then create payment, and that's it. That's a virtual terminal. The other part of option 2 is the Prepaid to Cash app, which is available in the App Store. It looks like this, and it uses the camera to simply just scan the card. I think it wants you to type in the zip code. I'm not sure, but it's pretty steep fees. I mean, Stripe, you're going to pay 2% processing fee and 30 cents. This is $1.50 plus 7 for next day, and $1.50 plus 5% for 5-day funding. So you would essentially turn $74 into $91. That's not even $20 profit. And for me, trading, like, I mean, sometimes I make over $200 a trade, so I wouldn't mess with that. But if $20 is worth, 10 minutes to you, then go ahead. Because like this, most credit card processors will not. First of all, you can't use credit card processors to sell Bitcoin. Prepaid cards, they're probably not going to like either. Prepaid to Cash App, it's actually all good. So there's that.
Now, in my opinion, this is the best thing to do unless you can find an awesome credit card with reward points and all that lets you pay it with a debit card. What I do is I use the BINII digital smart card. Yes, this is a digital smart card with like buttons and shit and an app on your phone that lets you consolidate up to 24 cards, credit and debit cards at once. But an infinite amount of cards if you, remove and add another one. BINII has an app, and when you connect a card to it, all you do is just type in the card number, the expiration date, and the zip code. And you pick how much you want to. The BINII card is actually its own bank account. It's a real bank account with in your name, and this is a prepaid card to it. So when you use the BINII card, it charges whatever funding source you have selected, but you can also load it whenever you want because it's a bank account. So if someone gives me a prepaid card, I open up my BINII app, start typing this information on the BINII app, and the initial load amount, I empty the card, $500, $100, whatever it is, and then that money is safely on my BINII card until I withdraw at the ATM or whatever for 0% fee. No credit card processing fee. It's instant. It's instantly available. I could charge it in within seconds. This thing withdraws $1,025 in cash a day. But you can load it to Square Cash or Venmo or whatever and like move money, like that digitally. So that's what I do because I haven't found an awesome credit card for option 3 that I'm about to go over, which theoretically is the best option. If you have a credit card that allows you to make payments with a debit card, use your credit card, max it out to buy BTC, pay your credit card with all these prepaid cards. You'll have your credit card paid off and you'll have Bitcoin left over. And then you can max out your credit card again. You can obviously build your credit. You can earn travel miles, reward points, cash back. The only one that I know off the top of my head that lets you do this was Credit One Bank. And if I made a payment with a debit card, that funding was actually immediately available. So that was cool. But it didn't have, it's a real shit credit card. Someone told me about it for this reason, and that's why I got it. Another option that's very similar is if you can get a loan off the internet that lets you make payments with a debit card. I mean, I've never done this, but same thing. Just use that loan, buy a shit ton of, bank draft BTC, and pay off the loan with prepaid cards, and you'll have Bitcoin left over and better credit. Yep. So this is just one payment method. There are over 300 payment methods available. And if you have another idea, if something new comes out, they will add it if you ask them. It takes a lot to teach people just one payment method. So I'm sorry it took me so long to make this second episode. I've had a competition that kind of took all my time, and honestly I have another one in 2 weeks. But I probably have anywhere from 5 to 15 people message me every day that are my affiliates, asking about Amazon gift cards and like other options. So like I said, if you are my affiliate, you can reach out to me. I'm very, very responsive, and it's in my best interest for you to make money. So like I try to be as helpful as I can. I've made a shit ton of money this year especially, and I'm saving it all. I'm not the kind of person that buys like Gucci belts and shit like that. I'm the type of person that spends money on other people and likes to help other people. I'm saving up to buy a house. I'm gonna buy a house either in Bitcoin if they allow me to, or in cash. So I'm here to help. Like, don't be afraid to reach out. Just please make sure that you watch the video and look for your answer, because I do get a lot of questions that I've answered in my videos, and that's hard, like, to answer the same question twice. So what you see on this screen is just a list of other payment methods I've used over the last 3 years. Please keep in mind that this is a high risk operation. If you're, I've had tons of bank accounts closed, from Zelle chargebacks. I've had credit card chargebacks. I've lost credit card processors. I've had PayPal closed, Payza closed, every prepaid card that you've ever heard of closed, Facebook Messenger payments, and like I'm slowly getting all that back and never making mistakes again. Like I have a PayPal account and I will never let anyone make a payment to it. It is strictly for business payments to me, and I don't pay anyone with it. I had to beg Facebook to turn my payments back on so I could run Instagram ads. I mean, I've made a lot of mistakes, you guys, so I'm trying to put out quality, timeless information for each of these payment methods so that you don't fuck up like I did. I mean, you're welcome to try anything, but please know that there is risk involved. And don't be afraid to reach out. As long as you are my affiliate, as long as you use my affiliate link for Paxful, I will be glad to help you. In the comments, let me know what payment method you want to see next. In the comments, please, if you know of a credit card that takes debit card payments, let people know. That would be very, very helpful. You can't Google that. Alright, that's it for episode 2. Episode 3. Maybe eBay cards? It's kind of illegal to teach you how to sell Bitcoin for money without a money transmission license, but maybe if I put in a legitimate disclaimer, I can get away with it. I don't know. Let me hear what you want to see next as far as payment methods. Alright, see ya.